Trade routes to get to what, Chris?
Riches and spices and all that.
Mainly spice, like the riches are the effect. That's what comes. But the cause of those riches is to find spices and trade routes. Huh? If you go to a store like Pinsy's, have y'all heard of Pinsy's?
No.
Okay, it's this store, I think they have a location in like Westview or somewhere around there. But they sell all these different spices. Some spices are expensive, like expensive.
Like food
Also,
spices.
it's
Yeah, like food spices.
They really wanted spices that bad?
Oh,
It's also Westview, so.
yes, but Pinsy's is a company that like they have multiple locations. So yeah, spices are expensive. They were tired of seasoning their food in Europe with just salt.
Well, people
Like-
still do that now.
Huh? When you that's all you have,
Sugar or something.
it gets annoying. It gets old.
They
We
need
have
some
so many
sugar.
spices
Okay.
in it.
All right,
Cinnamon sugar.
but that was the main motivation, right? Trade routes to Asia. Okay. So, do you think Italy was okay with the status quo?
No.
Were they the first ones to open up these trade routes?
Yes.
Yeah. So they were the first ones. You know, they were okay with the status quo going to the Middle East. They had it established. You know, there's if you're comfortable, is there a reason to explore or to grow? If you're comfortable, are you fine with everything? Yeah. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. If you're at home and you're comfortable, like you're really comfortable, and your parents give you a list of chores to do and say, hey, when you get the time, can you do these?
I'm going
I don't
straight.
have
I'm
time.
going
Key
straight.
word
But you're
when
comfortable.
you get the time.
But you're comfortable, right? When you get the time, will you do these? By the time they come home from work, what are the odds that the list has been done?
Zero. Snap.
Yeah. But if they say,
Do
hey,
it.
they say, hey, I'm gonna take your cell phone. It's a Saturday, I'm home all day. I'm gonna take your cell phone.
They do
You'll
that.
get your cell phone back when this list is done.
What the hell?
Oh, they did it to me last night when I didn't do my clothes. I had to put my clothes away
Okay?
before I got there.
Are you uncomfortable as soon as they take that cell phone away?
Yes.
For most people,
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. And so is your motivation to take care of that stuff?
She also said I couldn't eat dinner until I did it.
Well, that's another way to make you uncomfortable. Okay? All right. So the countries that are comfortable with the status quo, are they going to be the ones that are going to go out and explore?
Yes? No?
No, they're fine the way they are.
Yeah, you're fine the way you are, right? If you have your cell phone and everything, and they say,
They're like,
here's this list, take care of it.
I have to have a motivation.
Exactly, right? So, what was the first country? Well, so we know that Italy was fine.
Portugal.
Portugal. They were a small country, but they wanted to be big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were uncomfortable. They didn't like having to go through Italy's territory. Okay, so Portugal. Portugal was the first country to start looking. Okay, what are they trying to bypass? Morgan, what are they trying to bypass? Can you have your Chromebook open, please?
Aren't they trying to bypass Portugal?
No, not yet. No. Like what's the trade route that Portugal would have gone through is through the Mediterranean.
Aren't they trying to go to Asia?
Yeah.
They're trying to get there, but they're trying to bypass a certain trade route that's already established. What is it?
No.
The Middle East.
Yeah, the Middle East.
I knew that.
Because what are the merchants in the Middle East doing to their prices? Raising them, right? So there's the motivation. Middle East, I'm just going to put ME. Okay, why? Higher prices. Okay, so in 1420, Prince Henry establishes Sardes, this place in Portugal. It's at the,
That's how you say it? Oh,
I thought it was.
well, I may be
Sagres.
saying it wrong.
Sagres.
they pronounce it in the book.
Yeah. It is located right down here at the south end of Portugal. Okay? Why does he establish this? What's the purpose?
So he can get
Because
money.
So what?
So he can get money.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, he's the prince.
He already has plenty.
He set up a center for exploration at
Maybe the
Sawbridge
prince isn't very
on the south
He actually didn't need me.
where ended
Well-
land and where began its sea. The prince never intended to become an explorer
Okay.
himself.
Yes, but so what was the purpose of this place?
To plan voyages.
Okay, to explore trade routes.
Oh, that's the same thing.
It is the same thing, but I'm keeping the language that we're using the same.
Oh.
Okay, It's to explore trade routes, to gather information, so they can explore more areas. Okay, what was his nickname?
Henry the Navigator.
Henry the Navigator.
The fifth?
No.
No.
Prince Henry the Navigator.
Prince Henry the Navigator. Is that accurate?
No.
No.
Why?
The prince never intended to become an explorer himself.
He wasn't a-
Instead,
Did he ever set foot on a boat,
No.
like for the purpose of exploring?
no.
No.
He planned the voyages.
Yeah, he was just called Henry the Navigator because he established an area that they would get better maps out. Okay. So what are two things that came out of Sargeras?
Henry.
No, Henry did not come out, he established this.
Reports.
So they took reports and they developed what? Better
Better maps.
maps?
And better charts.
Right.
And better
Maps and charts, that's one.
trading posts.
Did they use the information they discovered to change how their ships were built?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that too.
Yeah, better ships.
Right.
This is some good stuff.
Okay. So, if you're in Portugal, that tiny country off the coast of Spain, right next to Spain, okay, and you're exploring an alternative route, which route should you go? You tried heading east. That's the route that you're used to taking.
West.
You don't know what's out west.
Oh,
Is it scary being out at sea without seeing any type of? How many of y'all have been on like a cruise ship?
Thank God come
I'm scared of it.
Okay, y'all been on a cruise ship.
I just,
Do y'all ever go? Okay.
Like the Titanic.
Those of y'all that have been on a cruise ship, have you ever gone to the edge of the ship and looked down?
No, I try to stay inside.
Okay. Why do you try to stay inside, David?
Man, I hate water.
I could
Okay.
fall off.
Okay,
I watch Jaws and
Jaden, is it scary to look down and see all that? Right? Imagine if you were to fall overboard and the ship is going. You don't see land anywhere, right?
Sharks are after me. Jaws.
Not necessarily, but okay, you don't see land anywhere. If you were to fall overboard, but you can see land, like you're just outside of the port of Galveston, is that as scary?
Wait, how far away from us?
Yeah.
Like you can see, like you're right at the dock.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
You're right at the dock. Okay, you're like 100 yards away from land.
No, it's not scary.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, it could be scary. It's not as scary as if you're in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico and you fall over, right?
You gonna land and hit the sand.
No. You're the boat is in water.
If
You
you're
can
100
see.
yards.
You can see that though, right?
I guess.
Okay. So if you're exploring a new area, are you going to go out to the middle of, like, just head out to the middle of the ocean, or are you going to keep something in your sight?
Keep something in my sight.
What are you going to keep in your sight?
Land.
Land. If you're going to explore a new area, you're going to keep land in your sight. That helps you navigate, right? Because if you're heading south along Africa, off the coast of Africa, the land is always going to be on your left or right side.
Right. Left.
Those are the two options.
Left.
Left.
Or right.
Right.
If you're heading south,
Or right. Left. Left.
Left.
Left.
What is the
Left.
question? If you.
okay.
I'm just saying left.
If you're heading south along the coast of Africa,
Right.
is land going to be on your left or on your right?
Left.
It's going to be on your left.
On your right.
No.
No.
Left.
If you're heading
South.
Never
south,
mind, never
Down.
mind. I forgot.
What you
yeah,
got
from
back?
Portugal, if you're heading south, guys,
Sauteed broccoli.
if you're heading south along Africa from Portugal, the land is always going to be on your left. It's an easy way to navigate.
You go backward.
Okay. If you're heading north, it's going to be on your heading back to Portugal. It's going to be on your
Right.
Right.
right. So you know pretty much how to navigate that area, right? So these first explorers from Portugal, they're heading south
I know.
along the coast of Africa.
I know the next question. I mean,
It's West Africa.
it's West Coast.
Yeah, the west coast of Africa starts becoming known as the Golden Coast. Why?
Oh,
Because
because
it's gold, it's gold.
Of its abundance of gold.
What was that?
The king in Mali,
Well, this is later. This is after. Okay, just
they found gold.
yeah, there's a lot of gold off this Golden Coast. Okay, so the Portugal starts trading with all these countries. Like they don't just say, okay, it's Asia or nothing. Along their trade route, as they meet new civilizations, as they meet new people, they trade with them. Okay, trading in the Golden Coast, they also become the first European country to trade in what? What do they trade in?
Spice.
No,
What do you
West
mean?
Africa.
Certain.
They're the first European country to start trading in what?
A different
Gold.
language.
With Africa.
India and China.
Different
North
currency.
Africa and Asia.
No, he's asking what are they?
What are they trading in? What?
United States, hold on.
I
What do you
haven't-
mean?
Like, okay, so their goal is to trade in, get to Asia and trade in spices and things like that, right?
Right.
They haven't gotten there yet. They're in West Africa, and so they're trading for gold. But what else are they trading in?
Spices, gold, money,
The
silk.
People.
People. I was gonna say that, but I no. I wasn't.
Portugal is the first European country to start trading in people. They're buying enslaved Africans from here. Okay. So when we talk about slavery coming from West Africa, we tend to think that European countries are coming in and they're pointing guns and taking people, right? That's not quite how it happened. So slavery existed in West Africa before the Europeans arrived, but it was a different type of slavery. And so I want to kind of separate that out. When we talk about slavery in the South, when we get there, that was different than this original slavery here. When you're born into slavery, when your parents are slaves in the South and you're born, you are a slave in the South. Okay? Slavery in West Africa, you were not a slave when you were born.
I know the next
Okay.
one.
So, but warfare happened, okay, among different people in West Africa. Okay, warfare happened. When a tribe would overtake another tribe, they would capture people from that tribe that they've overtaken. So when Europeans arrived and they had manufactured goods, like different types of goods that they wanted to trade with the West Africans, the tribe that had slaves would trade those people for the goods from Europe. Okay? And so but as it got more and more profitable to trade in people, especially as plantations in the South would be developed hundreds of years from where we are now, more and more slaves were demanded off the west coast of Africa. And so tribes were going to war not out of other traditional means, but for the purpose of capturing people to send into slavery. Because they wanted the manufactured goods like the guns and everything else that was coming out of Europe. Okay? But the start of it all was Portugal being the first country to trade in people. Okay? So, but King John II was not satisfied with just trading with Western Africa. And so he's telling Portugal, hey, keep on selling down. Why? Janica.
If they succeeded, they would be able to trade directly with India and China. They
So-
could
So the goal was still to get to where?
Asia.
Asia. That was still the goal.
Yeah.
West Africa provided a good trade area,
Yeah.
but the main goal was still to get to Asia.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one of the first guys they sent is Bartholomew Diaz. Okay. Bartholomew Diaz. So 1487, he sets out from Lisbon. Where is Lisbon? Lisbon.
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 It's in Portugal.
It's in Portugal. What's special about it?
It's the capital.
It is the capital.
Yay.
It's the capital of Portugal. Okay. And he had the goal of traveling to India, as they all did. Was he successful in that goal?
Yes. No.
No.
He got set off course because of this thingamajiggy.
A huge
storm.
Storm. Okay. So he made it. Bartholomew Diaz is traveling along the coast. He's keeping his eye on land to keep him on track. He's going along. He gets all the way down here, right?
Yeah.
And South Africa. How many of y'all watch Shark Week?
Sometimes.
Okay. Have y'all seen videos during Shark Week of them going to South Africa?
Oh yeah. Nope. I know.
Are the waters nice and calm? No. It's really stormy off the coast of South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. So he gets down to the south tip of Africa, and he gets turned around in a storm. It scares him. And so he's able to get out of the storm, but after experiencing that type of event, he decides, I'm going to turn back. And so he turned back, made his way back to Portugal. He reported to King John, who was like, hey, there's this Cape of Storms down there in Africa, and it's really difficult to get through. And King John was like, oh, thank you for that information, but what?
Go back.
No?
He hopes that the passage around
Or
Africa
does-
might provide.
okay. Does King John like the name, the Cape of Storms?
No, he renamed it the Cape of Good Hope
Why?
because he wants to lie to them.
Wait, what's the purpose of lying, though?
Sorry.
To make it
To
seem
make people think
Okay.
that it's nice, but it's not.
If he put on a map, and Chris was a explorer, and he goes, hey, Chris, I want you to travel to Africa, or to India. By the way, you're going to go to the southern tip of Africa, and there's this cape there, and Bartholomew Diaz called it the Cape of Storms.
Oh, they're not going to
Go for it. You're going to tell me, the king.
No.
What are you going to tell me, the king?
No.
No.
Oh,
So if I call it the Cape of Good Hope, does that sound a little bit nicer to visit?
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
And then they
It's a good hope that you make it through.
I don't like water.
Okay.
Why? Why don't you like that?
All right. So, okay, guys. Hey, this is our last slide for today. Okay. We have 4 minutes, so this will be our last slide. The next step after Bartholomew Diaz was Vasco da Gama. Okay. He set out about, 10 years after Bartholomew Diaz goes. So I mean, they're taking their time, really exploring, right? He sends out with 4 ships. Does he try to take the same path as Diaz?
Yep. Yep.
To some extent, but what is he hoping to avoid? The Cape of Storms, or the Cape of Good Hope, right? So he comes down the coast of Africa, but then right when Africa is about to turn inland and head south again, he keeps on going south, trying to, yeah, but he's trying to get around the Cape of Storms, okay? Does he eventually reach India?
Yes,
he does.
He meets an Indian pilot. Who
Yeah.
lets him die.
When does he reach India?
May 1498.
So
May.
He ended up here in
1498.
Kenya.
Okay, yes. But he eventually reached India in May 1498. When did he leave?
July 1497.
We got there.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what he lit.
He left
Yeah.
July 1497,
And then he got
but he
there.
arrived in India in May
1498.
1498. How many months is that? Count.
11.
July, August, September, October, November,
Ten,
December,
11.
I mean 11.
January,
10,
February,
10 months.
March, April,
May.
11 months.
11 months.
Yes.
So, how long would a round that? And that's a one-way journey.
That's
How long would a round trip journey take?
22 months.
22 months. Let's round that up to 2 years.
2 years.
Wow.
That's a long time
I would quit my job.
to be away from your parents, from your family.
I would quit my job.
Okay.
What time is it?
All right.
We don't have
We have 2
time.
minutes. No, I know we don't. I already said that this is going to be our last
Oh,
slide.
I know what
Okay.
next
I know. I already said that was going to be our last slide. I was
Wait,
just
this is
looking.
our last one.
That was our last slide.
That was our last one.
Yes.
This is our last one.
No, that's our last
That's our
slide.
last slide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.